Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a few recipes. This recipe that I'm starting with right now, well, this part of the recipe, is just going to be a filling. This filling, we can use it to fill cakes, we could use it for cupcakes, we could use it even for cheesecakes, which is exactly what I'm going to be using it for today. This recipe calls for, I have one can, about 20 ounces of pineapple. Usually you want to get pineapples that are finely chopped. What I did is that I had chunky and I just put them in my food processor and I made them small. I have 3 tablespoons of butter. I also have in here, I have half a cup of sugar plus a tablespoon approximately. Here we have half a teaspoon of salt, and here we have 3 tablespoons of butter. So that's the ingredients we're gonna need for this part of the recipe. So let's get started. So in a pot, we're gonna add all our pineapple. We are adding all of our sugar, all of our salt. And before I add my cornstarch, I want to give this a quick stir, so that way we can incorporate both of these ingredients in there. Let me push this aside so I can just show you really quick. I'm just gonna mix everything together, and at this moment I am going to add my cornstarch and I am going to stir. Make sure you have it all in there. Stir, and that's the most important part of this, is to stir. Because it has cornstarch, you don't want the cornstarch to get lumpy, and it's gonna start to thicken this up. And this is gonna cook for just a little bit. I have it on a pretty high flame, well, not flame, but on my convection, it's pretty high. Just make sure that all the lumps of your cornstarch are completely dissolved, because there's nothing worse than eating something and having lumpy cornstarch on it. Yuck. So what we're gonna do, let's bring it up to high. We're gonna let this start to cook, and as it cooks, you're gonna tell that it's gonna start to thicken up. And the color is also gonna change. It's gonna get a little bright. Right now it's really pale yellow, as you can tell, but it's gonna become a little light. Let's see if I can get you guys closer so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing at this moment. I'm hoping to get my light soon, so that way you guys can get a better view, but it hasn't arrived yet. So there we have it. So we're gonna let it cook, stirring at all times until we get the consistency that we want it. As you all can tell, it's already getting thick. Now, one little tip that I heard from a friend a long time ago, I'm gonna give you, is to use a little bit of yellow food coloring, just to give it that bright yellow color. It makes a difference, and you would think, oh, it doesn't automatically come in that color. No, please, people just add color to it. You could add as much as I added or a little less, but I think this is like the perfect color that we want. I'm stirring, and I lowered the flame to a medium. I'm gonna actually go completely medium because it is bubbling and I burned the crap out of myself. So what we want to do is taste this, so that way we no longer taste the cornstarch flavor. Be careful, don't burn yourself. We're almost there. Not quite. Let me wash my spoon. And almost there. Almost at the perfect let's say taste. We just trying to get rid of that cornstarch flavor. Now once I'm done with this, we're gonna cool this down, and this is gonna be our topper for our cheesecakes that I'll be making next. Let's give it a quick taste again. Delicious. Delicious, delicious. I'm gonna let it go for another minute or two. Now we're simply shutting off our stove, and we are adding our butter. In this case, I'm actually using margarine. I'm not using butter, just because the butter I needed for a different recipe. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a quick stir. And what we're gonna do is that we're going to take this mixture once all the butter has melted in, and we are going to take this and put it in our refrigerator for it to cool down. And here you have it. This is our pineapple filling. You can use this for cakes, for cupcakes, for cheesecakes. You can use this on ice cream. Oh, it's so good. So there you have it, our pineapple filling. So this is our pineapple filling. I am putting this in the refrigerator to cool, and I will show you guys what we are doing next. Now for this recipe, this is a very simple, super simple recipe to make an easy cheesecake. For starters, this here, it's 1 pack of Maria cookies. You don't have to use Maria cookies. You could use graham crackers, and just make sure that they are fine. You make them into like a powder. You're also gonna be needing about 5 tablespoons of melted butter or margarine, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is going to be for our crust. Now for the actual cheesecake mixture, you're going to need 2 packs of cream cheese, 8 ounces each. So we're using a pound of cream cheese. We are also using 2 eggs, half of a teaspoon. In fact, I added more than that. I added more like a full teaspoon of vanilla. We're adding in here about 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Here I added the zest of 1 lemon, and that's it. That's our cream cheese filling. And next I'll show you exactly how I put this together. So for starters, we are adding in a bowl our cookies or graham crackers. It's up to you, whatever it is that you're using. We are adding our 2 tablespoons of sugar. And we are adding, well, before we add, let's just make sure we mix this. And now we add our melted butter or margarine, whatever is your preference to use. We're going to go ahead and mix this. You can use your hands if you want. Let's just try to get everything incorporated and moistened with all that butter. It's going to take just about a minute for you to do that. If you want to use your hands, you may. Just so that way you could feel the crumbs in your hands. And you know if it needs more butter or not. But I think that should be absolutely perfect. So this is what we are doing. And I want you guys to see how this mixture, I could stick it together and it'll stay together. Okay, so that's how you know this part of this mixture is well incorporated. Now at this point, we're going to take a muffin tin and line it with whichever lining or liner you prefer. That is up to you, up to your own liking. And I am going to add a little bit of my mixture to each one of these. You could use whatever you like. I'm using just a little ice cream scoop, just so that way I get the right amount on all of mine. You might have some left over. Use it for the next batch. And this is what we're doing with all of our muffin tins. Okay. So now at this point, we take the bottom of a shot glass. I think it's the easiest way. And we want to press the bottom of this mixture all the way around. Press it tight, because this is your crust. I think a shot glass works. If you don't have a shot glass, just use whatever. It doesn't matter. This is actually a shot glass a very close friend of mine brought me from Mexico. So this is what we're doing. So you see all our filling, it is completely pressed. Next, I'll show you how to make the actual filling. So in your bowl, we're gonna add the 2 packs of cream cheese. Just make sure you get everything out. Cream cheese has gotten super expensive, just like everything nowadays. So just make sure you get everything out. I'm using an offset spatula. Now, one of the things that I want to do before I even start adding anything is that I want to start by using my hand mixer and just get this started. Just because we want to get it started to incorporate, and we're going to start by adding our sugar. All of our sugar, just add it in there and start mixing. We want to make sure that we get everything mixed together. Next thing I'm going to add right now is the lemon zest, because I do want that to get incorporated fully into my mixture. And just continue mixing. Start by adding your eggs quickly, one at a time, and incorporate it. Make sure you get all the sides. Add the other egg and incorporate that. So far, so good. It's looking good. Last, we're going to add our vanilla, and we're going to continue mixing until everything is mixed completely. I stop my machine and just give it a quick stir just to see if it has too many lumps. I still want to go once more with my mixer just to make sure it is completely lump free. So here we go. After that, this mixture is ready to go into the oven. And that is it. There we have our mixture, our cream cheese mixture, ready to start what we're supposed to be doing. At this point, my cheesecakes are going to be going into a 325-degree oven. But now I'm using an ice cream scoop. Why? Because I think I get an even amount on each one of them. So now these are going to go in at 325 degrees, not 350, 325. Makes a difference. Approximately 20 minutes, 25 minutes, give or take. But now you want to watch them. You don't want to if they start to crack, that means you've overcooked them a little bit. You can still eat them, but they just overcooked some. And we have some more mix left over, so we will be making the rest in a little while. We want to go ahead and tap it. I want you to see how perfect these look. Now I'm going into a 325-degree oven until these are completely ready. It's going to take between 20 to 25 minutes, give or take, but watch them. So I just took my cheesecakes out of the oven a couple of minutes ago. I made these. It's still a little hot. I made these, you could tell. These cracked just a little tiny bit, which is totally fine. As long as they're not completely cracked, they're fine. Now I'm going to put these to cool. And okay, so now I'm going to show you how I would plate my cheesecake. For starters, I'm taking out my filling. I took my cheesecake out of its packaging. Still a little warm, but that is my cheesecake. And what we're gonna do is we are going to grab a little spoon and we're gonna grab a little bit of our filling, which is still warm, and we want to top our cheesecake with this filling. Oh yeah. Now I took the rest of the crumbs that I had left over and I put them into the oven and I toasted them. And what I'm doing is just adding a few of the crumbs on my plate. What you can do is add some sauce to your mixture. I am going to add strawberry sauce because this is what I have available. We're gonna add, maybe, I got a bad feeling if I add this because it's not thickened, I might just make a mess. But we can add just for color. We can add a little bit of color on it and serve your cheesecake the exact same way I would eat it. Cheesecake for one, served. What do y'all think? I think it's actually perfect the way it is. I think that this is the exact way we should be eating this. So there you go, cheesecake for one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. A quick take on cheesecake for one. You can also make a big one, but I think it's super cute when you make them small. So thanks for watching, and until next time, God bless you, and do not forget to like and subscribe.